Hi, I released SOAP V1.0 last week. There is now a V.01 Preview 2 out there simply because, of course, after V1.0 was released, I got some feedback that I never got before. So I have fixed a few things. So what I'm going to show you is V1.01, which will be posted very soon, probably in the next week or so. Right, so this is how it starts. Of course, on my configuration, it connects automatically to the TWS because my settings are correct. If you look here, this is 127.0.0.0.1, port 7496. And if you check on your global configuration on the TWS, you should see something similar. If it doesn't, either change it on the TWS side or probably more likely here on the SOAP side. It will be recorded, so you will have to do this only once. Something else you need to look at is the time difference. You will have to change it for your own time zone, and that will be also a once-off. Right, so this is a console. You can show it. If you're a little bit confused, if you don't know exactly what's going on, there will be server messages and a few warnings here now and then. So nothing special here. I can clear, and I'm going to hide it for now. So this is my watch list. So now how do we start? We're going to be selecting a symbol. So you can select it from the drop down here. You can press 1 to 10, which is really the same as the list here, or you can click here on the row header. It will also select the first. I often trade the SPX, and so should try, as it says here, should try and list the expiries. Sometimes for some reason, especially now, this is only 12:57 here, so it's about 10 o'clock in Europe. Market makers are working, but the markets are not opened, and IB may be doing some maintenance. So let's request a change again. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to look for, let's say, April, and let's say 25-point strikes, and I'm going to confirm. You can press here, you can just press enter, that's the same. When it's confirmed, by default, it will also request the data you just selected. So there we go. It's looking like it's loading. While it is loading, you can see that SOAP will use a proxy, PXY for proxy, even before market is opened. The data has been loaded, and put IV and call IV have been computed, and for SPX, as we can expect, the ATM IV on both sides should be more or less the same. Before we go into the matrix or loading a trade, something I should have put right at the beginning of this video is that the first time you run SOAP, you should have the ReadMe displayed. Of course, it only appears only once, but at this end it has already been done. But you will see this. Please read this carefully. There will be answers to many, many initial questions. And you can even switch to release notes, where you'll see exactly what has been added to the program in the last releases. So please take time reading the README notes and the release notes. For example, it will explain what I said before, that you need to have your SOAP settings matching the TWS global configuration in terms of IP and port. Okay, so let's assume you have read all this. Now, at the same time as the data was loaded and the IV calculated, the data that is necessary for proper calculations has been captured from the internet. So if you look at the web data, you can see that we have the rates, we have the VIX term structure, which shows in backwardation. We use a fit, which is very similar to actual data. This is the orange smooth line here. And something that has been added recently to SOAP is that you can also handle EU rates. So basically, there's nothing stopping you from trading European options like the DAX. Okay, so this is it. You are now set, because basically if you have your rates, dividend yields, everything to calculate Black-Scholes properly, the matrix will, as you can see, sometimes when market is not open, we have some discrepancy on the matrix. So let's cancel this, and I'm going to request again. 20 strikes on either side. Okay, now let's go for the matrix. before market opens, there can be some discrepancies here. So now you have your matrix loaded. IV can be either calculated or the one from IB. But before we go into those details, let's just put on a sample position as a simulation. Let's say one of my favorites, broken butterfly. There we go. This is a broken butterfly for the March expiration. This is the quoted, which is the actual SPX value in pre-market, something that you don't get on other platforms. And if you check the, let's go back to SOAP, another information just pop up here. Now that we have loaded options information, SOAP offers to swap for the market maker's pricing. So at the moment, instead of using just a proxy, this is the actual estimate of the underlying that market makers are using right now. This is also something that you don't find on other platforms. To keep it short for this intro, make sure that you've got your configuration okay. Please, please, please read the ReadMe notes and the release notes, and you can start playing with SOAP, putting on some simulations here or there. Now, what you can also do, let's press S to get back to. Please explore, please have a look. Many of these options are available through those buttons here. Many are also available through the shortcuts. I press question mark here, and you can have the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts for the main form. And if I press, as I say, A here, you have the whole list. Just take a look at them. We don't need to see all of them at once. Nothing can really go wrong. Please practice a little. It is not as difficult as you can see. It's basically selecting a symbol, selecting your options chain settings, and requesting data. Now, something else that you can do, once a symbol has been loaded, you can also display the list of trades that are currently existing in a SOAP system, and you can load them. It will, of course, need to go through one intermediate stage because there's no indication here of the strikes being used. So for example, if let's go for, let's say, March. Here, this is my X log or execution log. I build a T log. For simplicity's sake, we'll assume that you copy the whole execution log to the T log. And here it will tell you, okay, I can't load it because some strikes are missing from my matrix. You may have to request data including the 2850 or 2900 on the March expiration to make sure it can be loaded. Okay, let's not go into too many details right now. I think you've seen enough now to play around and get a feel for it. Thank you for watching, and please do not hesitate to send me any feedback so that I can make SOAP looking even better. Bye for now.